Well, I just want to put it to you on this video that Putin is basically backing, endorsing Trump, not directly. He says that, a foreign country should not have any influence over. It's kind of ludicrous to hear this. Foreign country should not have any influence over the elections in, another country. But he basically is praising Trump as, the leading candidate. He's very well qualified and all that type of stuff, right? Now, I'm going to tell you, this kid is, as far as Jeb Bush goes, if Jeb Bush somehow got nominated on a Republican ticket, I am not voting for Jeb Bush under any circumstances. Even if the Independent Party is some unknown, I'll vote for that. Actually, I voted for Johnson last time on the Libertarian Party because I was disgusted with Romney and his connections to Bush. And if Romney just lost by a hair, I would have probably regretted that decision. but it didn't matter because Obama pretty much soundly defeated Romney in that election anyway. It was kind of like a protest vote. But I will not vote for Jeb Bush under any circumstances. And I'm going to tell you something. Something I'm smelling is coming up here. I warned you about Trump possibly being a ringer. I know he talks a really good game. Um, I like what he's saying, okay? And there's no doubt about it. I like what he's saying about, make America great. We got a problem with too many Muslims coming in right now. We don't know what the hell's coming in right now. Maybe you have a temporary stop for now, and watch what's coming over on our borders, south of our borders. Make sure we're getting people that are, good and all this kind of stuff. Whatever, fine. Make America great. Bring back the jobs. Bring back the manufacturing. I like what he's saying. Um, what gets me is the major media is always talking up Trump, Jeb Bush, like he's the only one that's out there with Trump, arguing with Trump. I'm thinking Jeb Bush is in the low single digits on popularity rating in the Republican polls. And I'm like, what the hell's, why are they even talking about this guy? Ted Cruz is right behind Trump. I think Ben Carson was number two before. I think Ted Cruz is now. Maybe Ben Carson dropped a lot. And, I don't know what's going to happen with Ben Carson. I mean, I speculated maybe he'll join in Trump because he defended him. And I don't know where Ben Carson came from. I mean, he's another one that was never a politician ever. You don't know much about him. He's a retired neurosurgeon. He's got money behind him. He's on a presidential ticket. I mean, there's some stuff I like what he says, but I'm like, you don't really know these people. And the one thing I don't like about Trump is even though he's saying all the right stuff, I like to hear. I don't really know him because I don't know. He doesn't have this voting record like Ted Cruz. I know what's going on with him. He's been consistent for many years. If Ted Cruz was on a Republican ticket, I'd vote for him. But I'm telling you, I'm gonna tell you something else here. Not this kind of stuff. I'm really leading up to something because, man, I am really kind of smelling something coming up here with, first off, I know Bush is getting clobbered by Trump. And if Bush was nominated by the Republican Party, he would lose. Even him alone against Hillary, he might even lose. If there was a third party like Trump out there, he's definitely going to lose. As a matter of fact, Trump, I think, would pull in more votes than Jeb Bush. But I think that would be a win for Hillary. See, I'm just telling you a reality situation. Whether you think it or I think it or anything that Trump should be the Republican on a ticket. Now, I personally would like to see Ted Cruz running for president and Trump running as VP on that ticket. Just because I don't know, have a history of what Trump really stands for politically, other than what he's telling us in the speeches recently. This guy does know how to tell people the right stuff and what they want to hear. I mean, I think he's pretty much. I don't know if he's sincere all the way. He didn't get his money by telling people not what they want to hear. Okay, now you might hate me for saying that, but I'm very astute on these kind of people. Okay, I do know what's going on. That they could scam and you would never know the difference. They could be bad and they can act like Santa Claus. They could smile and with a crinkly little smile like they're the nicest people in the world, and they're not. Okay. I'm going to tell you though, I think Ted Cruz, you know what the deal is with him. I personally, but I'm really leading up to something else, and I'm going to tell you what I think is going to happen. The ideal situation, I think, would be Ted Cruz on a Republican ticket with Trump as VP, and Trump throwing his support behind winning the election, and I think it would be a slam dunk against Hillary Clinton. Um, and she'd be finished. You know, she'd be a memory. But I think what's going to happen is somehow I think Jeb Bush is going to get on that damn ticket. Trump's going to run as an independent, possibly with Ben Carson. And even though Trump probably soundly defeats Jeb Bush in popular votes, Hillary wins. Now, what I see that's going to lead to is major problems in the country as far as division, and actually a lot of stuff that Obama's done in the past has been not going to be coming out till later on, like with the Affordable Health Care Act, where people have to pay like $1,000 for just not having insurance, and if they don't pay it, it's going to come out of their other money that they might be getting government support for. Now, I'll tell you one thing. You know, Hillary's got some popularity because she's going to be the first one that is running for president as a woman. Now, I got nothing against women running for president. As a matter of fact, I'd like to see one of the feminine members be appointed to Secretary of Commerce. You know, they keep the economy rolling. You know, blondes rule. You know, that's the way I look at it. But and Hillary's a blonde too. I mean, you know, I don't really hate her for her as a I mean, somebody would say she's 68, right? She's going to be 70 something while she's president. If she's president, I don't even hate her for being an older woman or something. I really see her as a deceitful bitch, all the way. And she's not somebody that actually fought for people's rights. Actually, I know a lot of people don't like these feminine girls because they say they're backed by, I don't know, Soros or somebody or whatever. But at least they're out there freaking risking their lives and limb and their bodies, protesting for some things they believe in. It's not just all about money. With Hillary, she'd never do this. Not in a million years. I got way more respect for somebody like this. But I want to tell you that I think what's going to come up, though, is this is really what I'm getting at, if Hillary wins the election due to a split Republican opposition to her, and even if Trump trounces Jeb Bush, we're going to have like major dissent in this country. And this lady, she's not going to help things. She's like, I vehemently condemn terrorism, but I will not name who it is, She's going to be bringing in far more Muslims into the country, and probably the worst elements on purpose. And the game plan is to create as much havoc and a total breakdown in society. And you know why I'm saying this? You know how I know this? It's not a conspiracy theory. It's out in the open. Even Henry Kissinger said this before, and other people, though, besides him, that when there's major problems in the United States, it will be a point whereby Americans will welcome a foreign force or UN peacekeepers or Russian troops under the UN to come in to instill peace. And, I'm looking at with this new budget coming up, we're going to be at $21 trillion debt, right? Not deficit, debt, total debt. 24 trillion is the point of return. Sometime during the next 4 to 8 years, it's either whoever's in the next president or the president after that, it's going to be dealing with basically the collapse of the government. But before that even happens, and Hillary's lying about this stuff with the what do you call it? She says the Obamacare is too hard on people, the affordable health care. But they used to call it Hillary Care. She was the one that originally introduced it. She's lying to you when she's telling you that type of stuff, that it's too difficult. I mean, it is too difficult. It's too hard on people. It's terrible. But she's the one that actually pushed it way before even Obama was in office. She was pushing it back when she was co-president, the wife of Bill Clinton. And It didn't pass then. Nothing happened. But people are not, it passed, the legislation passed, but people are not feeling the actual financial repercussions of it till about now. And if they do not pay it, all these people that voted for Obama and stuff like that, usually they're people that are poor, they're thinking they're getting something for free with this Affordable Health Care Act because of the title, Affordable Health Care. No, they're not going to get, if they have absolutely no health care, they're still going to get penalized like $1,000. And if they don't pay it and they're like on other types of government subsistence, it's going to come out of that. So, I mean, talk about freaking having social tensions and having a backlash against the government. It'll start. It's going to be starting pretty soon. And I think that's the whole game plan. Now, actually, I think the same game plan that how Obama, a lot of black Americans in the United States and Latinos supported Obama, and they're probably going to find out that pretty soon this year that the legislations that Obama pushed through with the Affordable Health Care Act is going to really hit him in the pocketbook, and you're going to realize the guy was a sellout after he's out of office, or nearly when he's out of office. And by that time, it's too late. Similarly, the women that are pushing for Hillary Clinton right now because she'll be the first woman president, and like I said, I don't give a damn. I mean, I think it is kind of cool if you could have a woman president, but not her. And not because she's a strong woman. She's not. She's a strong woman in an evil sense, and that's not the kind you want. She's actually going to do to women in this country, like this woman laying down here. Um, she's going to basically put them all down and restrict them in various ways. So, it's just like I could tell you also the people that actually push that are these cook conservatives, these fake Christian types that push for Jeb Bush. I can tell you right now, they'll get what they deserve too. It's almost like that Lindsey Graham garbage from the Carolinas. He's a total fake. I don't even know what the hell that word conservative means anymore, to tell you the truth. But he's a total fake. He's a total fake. They're all in with the money power. Now, Donald is the money power, so I don't know what the hell. I don't know what to think about this guy exactly. But I highly do suspect him because I have said this many times before, because he has been buddy-buddy with the Clintons for a long, long period of time. But if Jeb Bush is on a ticket and Donald's on an independent, I will vote for not Jeb Bush. I definitely won't vote for Jeb Bush. I'll vote for Donald. I'm hoping that it's Ted Cruz and Donald. And, then I would realize that Donald is legit. And actually, I'll put out several apology videos on it, but I don't really know the deal with Donald exactly. I'm suspecting it's a playbook right off the Clinton strategy as was played out before. Highly, highly much so. I already know that Donald is not going to get to be the front runner on a Republican ticket just because of the way things are, whether you like it that way or not. But if at least he was the VP, and I don't see why he couldn't be the VP. Look at freaking Nelson Rockefeller was a VP. He was a former governor of New York, I know, but God, I mean, tell me Donald is better than Nelson Rockefeller. Crap, actually, how did he get to be VP? It was over the impeachment of Nixon, and you had Spiro Agnew knocked out, then you had Ford, and actually, Ford almost got whacked, and probably Nelson Rockefeller was looking for that presidency. He was looking for his whole life. There's a conspiracy there, big time. But as far as Ted Cruz, he's an honest guy all the way. I mean, he's really forthright. And if they say he's born in Canada, whatever, I really don't give a shit. I mean, freaking Obama was born in Kenya, but actually, I don't even have a problem. If they proved that Obama was born in Kenya and it was illegal that he be president, personally, the biggest problem I have with Obama is this. Not so much where he was born. He could have been born on Venus or Mars. I have a problem with him is that he is actually against us and he's working for the elite. And I'll tell you, his supporters are going to be starting figuring that out. They probably are already figuring that out, but they will figure it out really soon when the affordable health care provisions, monetary provisions, take effect on a tax code itself, and people have to pay like $1,000 or something around that amount when they have no health insurance as a penalty, and it comes out of other money you might be receiving from the government. Then they're going to realize what Obama's about. So, Ted Cruz, I think, is a guy that's going to help straighten things out, but he's got a monumental task ahead of him. But I think with Trump as a VP would be a great deal. But I smell it. What's going to happen is Hillary's going to get it because of the division of powers against her. There'll be Bush on the Republican ticket. I don't know why. I just feel he's going to finagle something. Even because the way the major media is pushing this guy, he's got he doesn't even have 5% of the vote. I think the popular Republican side, he's doing horrible. Trump is like 40%. I just know that they're not going to put Trump on the ticket as president because he's got no political experience and you don't know what his actual voting record is. And obviously, anybody's got a brain knows he did support the Clintons a lot, which to me that is iffy. That is iffy. But I would vote for Trump over JEB Bush, no doubt about that, whether he's on an independent or not. But I see what's going to come up is that there's going to be a split. There's going to be major dissent in the United States. The TPP, the Trans-Pacific Partnership, is going to pass, and there's going to be more major exodus of jobs out of this country. There's going to be more unemployment. Hillary's going to come out like she's going to bring in more Muslims, more terrorists. She's going to be cracking down the whip on all the good Americans. And there's going to be a lot more social tensions all over the place. And to restore order, that's probably where Putin's coming in, playing his New World Order card. They'll have Russian troops here under the guise of peacekeepers to restore order. It'll probably go that bad. Pretty sad, huh? So, anyway, man, I hate putting this freaking doom and gloom video out. But that's probably what the hell's going to happen. And, the thing is with the debt situation, it's been going and going and going and going. But at one point in time, it's getting up to critical mass. I mean, I remember when I think it was under the Reagan years, they said it topped $1 trillion or something. Yeah, well, you know what? Now it's going up another $2 or $3 trillion over the next budget. I mean, it's getting exponentially worse. So what's that mean? The government is going to have to freaking collapse. I mean, that's really what happens, right? I mean, you can be playing high on the hog for a long period of time, pulling money out of your ass in different ways and all kinds of finagling, but they can't do it forever. And also, I want to tell you on this video, as a final note, J.P. Morgan Chase has the biggest physical position in silver than they've ever had, many, many, many times over what they've ever had. They've been dumping money into silver for a long period of time. And they've been hearing this shit for years. It's been going down. The market's been doing bad today. But, they got patience. Like I always said, you don't put all your money into something, into one area. But, you do it a little bit at a time. And eventually you bide your patience. And then it plays out at the opportune time. So, that might be the only bright spot on the horizon when there is a major catastrophic problem here in the United States. But just want to tell you that they probably got this game rigged from a lot of different angles. And, the fact that I almost smell that they're going to put Bush on the ticket. I'm like, it's ludicrous that they will, but they probably will. And Hillary will win, and then, Putin's going to be getting a hell of a lot more. Vlad Putin's going to be getting a hell of a lot more points here in the United States with his rhetoric. And, when things really fall apart, there's major social tensions because people can't pay for the Affordable Health Care Act, and they're being penalized and all this type of stuff. And the Trans-Pacific Partnership's taking effect. The Trans-Pacific Partnership is actually curtailing our freedom of speech. Well, there's going to be a lot of social tensions. And you know what's going to happen? Putin's going to be coming in here. And, the guy that actually we nearly need for president probably is Ted Cruz. That's what I think. And it probably would be I would think Trump could, as a VP, would be fantastic. And you know, it's like, you got to remember that's his number two guys because if something ever happened to Ted Cruz or anything, God forbid, he say he was president, at least you got somebody in there that's of the same, hopefully, of the same exact mindset. And you never know. Trump may be on the ticket the next time. I don't know. I don't know. But I'm not seeing that's how it's going to play out. I'm seeing Hillary as president. I hate to say this. There's going to be major social upheaval. And, you know, Putin's going to come in here and save the day. At which time the United States is pretty much not going to exist in the same form as it has. And that's what I think is going to be happening. So this lady here is playing her cards of the New World Order, and they're all in on it, I think, pretty much. I think the only one that's not really in on the New World Order at all is Ted Cruz. So, and actually the true Christians that are out there, not the fake ones, I think a lot of them are behind Ted Cruz, more so than anybody. So, I don't like playing that Christian card left and right because it gets so fake sometimes. But, I think Ted Cruz is the guy that you really want as president. And I personally would think Trump would be great as a VP, but I don't know why he would want to be VP. I don't even know why he'd want to be president. To me, it would just take away from, what he's got going. If he's a VP, he could still watch all his, business empire. He wouldn't have to worry about so much. It'd probably be a better deal for him all the way around. If you think about it. Because Trump, I think as a president, he's not going to be able to watch what's going on in his business empire. That's why I think it's almost ludicrous to think that he wants to be president for real. If he is real as a VP, the GOP would stomach that. They'd probably be able to handle that. They might not, but that might be able. It's a possible. It's a possible. But then at the same time, Trump could be watching his business empire because the VP job is nowhere near as demanding as the job of president. So we shall see how this works out. But I think it's going to be a situation whereby when Hillary gets in, it's not going to take effect immediately, but it's going to greatly, greatly diminish women's rights and women's freedoms. And they're going to find out. The ones that support her. I know a lot of women don't support her, but there's a lot of women that do support her. There's a lot of males that support her, but and like I said, I would vote for a woman if she was the right caliber, like Femin. Now, I mean, to me, I think anybody in Femin would be better than Hillary because I think they're more sincere, even if I don't agree with them. Because at least they get out there and they do all their crazy shit, and they risk their necks and, get in trouble and all this other crap. Hillary, she's just makes speeches and runs into her limo. She doesn't even want to mingle with people. The crazy feminine girls at least want to mingle with people, right? So, I mean, I got more respect for them even. So that's how I look at it. I mean, not only that they're hotter looking and stuff, but I mean the fact that they're definitely people that are doing stuff they at least believe in. It's not all about money because there isn't enough money that a woman will get paid to do all the crazy shit these girls do. So maybe that would be a good, Secretary of Commerce or something. That might be the deal. But I pretty much think I got these angles covered on this deal the way it's going to play out. I wish Ted Cruz does get it and gets on that ticket, and I hope Trump gets on that ticket also as the VP. I don't know how I know his ego probably wouldn't like that, but if you look at it this way, I don't think he is sincere to tell you the truth, but he might be. Say he is. If Trump is sincere, that would work out better for him because as president, he could not watch over his business empire. It would just cost him so much money as president, and he would be getting hammered so much in the media as president, having a business empire as big as he is. As a VP, he could probably play a little bit low profile, and he'd be able to handle his business empire and still have the prestige of being vice president of the United States and having a lot of clout. And I think the Republican Party might go along with that. I would go along with that, but I don't know how the bigwigs in the Republican Party would or not. But Ted Cruz should be the guy that's on the ticket. Um, don't want to berate the point too much here, but it's like I'm smelling that is not going to be the situation, though. And just be ready for it, and be ready for all these scam angles I've been warning people about that I think will come about. So, long video here, but I think I really do smell what's coming up exactly, and um, I'm the guy that's been around these not these political type people, but business people, and I can tell you a lot of people are a lot shrewder than you can imagine. They can put on acts way more than you can imagine too. Bush, I will not vote for him. Period. Under no circumstance. I don't give a damn. So that's the end of that. All right. Over now.